All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to go racing at Richmond. Up front will be Jeff Hinkle and AJ Gotzi on the front row, Mark Dantuma, Harley Barlett on the second, Mark Nelson, Kevin Reed on the third row, Eric Stoy, Ray Hillhouse on the fourth, Mike Smith and Ian Ogden rounding out the top 10. Richie West in 11th, Brandon Springer in 12th. And it'll be interesting to see if either of the two admins in race control will hop out here. But Topher Baltimore and Nicole Kriesel both here in race control tonight. Good evening, Gourmet. Looking forward to seeing you back as well in the next season, bud. Now that we got Mike Smith back, we're going to have Larry Ashby back. We'll have Gourmet back in the car. And some big announcements about the next season coming soon. Make sure you drop in the comments. Tell us who you're cheering for. Tell us your prediction. Or, you know what, just tell us who your favorite broadcaster is. We're good with that information too. And let's hope and pray. We've been working on the technical issues with the streaming, and let's hope and pray tonight and the remainder of this week goes smoothly. Looks like everybody that's racing has taken to the grid. And the pace car is going to start rolling. 2 warm-up laps. Everybody gets rolled off and ready to go. Down the back straightaway. Despite the fact that these cars have lower downforce on them, obviously, as we've talked about. So because of that, normally we see Cup and Truck have problems off turn 4 and getting loose. It is much worse for these Xfinity cars. And they have a bigger push coming out of turn 2 and down into the corners and off turn 2. So we might see some guys out in the wall before tonight's over. Garmin calling this one for the man sitting on the pole, Jeff Hinkle. But AJ Gotzi has been the king of short tracks this season. Starts on the front row. This may come down to which one of these two save their tires better on the long run. Here we go. Pace car is in. Barney waves it. Green flag is in the air. They fire off into turn 1. Everybody down through 1. Coming back off 2. Hinkle takes the lead right off the bat. Back down into 3 and 4, and Jeff Hinkle will lead the first lap. Mark Dantuma, after a rough week, almost out of the playoffs, still trying to fight forward. He's 10 points behind points leader AJ, looking for some luck tonight. Greg McDaniel automatically eliminated. He is not in the race tonight. So 2 drivers that are on track will be eliminated. It's just a question of which 2. Hey, good evening, Mike Allmendinger. Jeff Hinkle starting to open up a gap on AJ. Mark Dantuma holding on in 3rd. Harley Barlett in 4th. Then the next four cars are nose to tail. Mark Nelson, Kevin Reed, Ray Hillhouse, Eric Stoy, Ian Ogden not far behind, and Mike Smith with him. Richie also hanging out back there, and Brandon Springer, despite two broken fingers, out here in the race. Single file throughout the field after last week's win. Hinkle looking to go two in a row here. AJ looking for win number 10. Mark Dantuma in third, Harley Barletta in fourth, both doing what they need to do to stay in contention. Harley Barletta comes in tonight fourth in points, the cutoff line right between him and Richie. Richie currently in 10th is starting to pick up some spots, but here comes Mike Smith fighting back. And Richie pulls himself up into 10th, now trying to track down Ian Ogden. Ray Hillhouse up 2 spots into 6th now after starting in 8th. Kevin Reed battling side by side with Eric Stoy. Eric, one of the drivers, eliminated in the last elimination. Eric in 7th, Kevin now back to 8th. The top 5 are just cruising right now. No battles, no change in position. Mark in 3rd, Harley in 4th, Mark Nelson in 5th. Mark Nelson in 2nd in points, just needs to stay up in the top 5 to go on. Jeff Hinkle, 3/4 of a second lead on AJ Godsey. And it is my understanding that Jeff Hinkle's dad watches all the races. So, hello, Mr. Hinkle. How's it going tonight? AJ Godsey in 2nd. Dan Tuma still in 3rd. Barletta 4th. Mark Nelson 5th. Ray Hillhouse up 2 spots into 6th. Eric Stoy holding on to 7th. Kevin Reed back 2 spots into 8th. Ian Ogden in 9th. And Richie West in 10th. You got to give it to Brandon coming out here racing with one hand right now. And without his peanut butter deployment system, he's probably going to struggle a little bit. Mike Smith currently in 12th, his first race back, obviously struggling. He said he put Mako on the car because he thinks he's going to need it when this one's over. As they continue to spread out, the real question here is how long are they going to make it on fuel and tires? And will this race, 14 laps into a short track race, they're already spreading out. There is always the possibility of no yellows tonight. Mark Dantuma in 3rd has pulled a gap on Harley Barletta in 4th. Dantuma comes in tonight 6th in points, but right now would move up. Doing some quick math here. Mark Dantuma would move up to 5th in points. Mark Nelson currently 2nd in points, a couple of spots behind him, but for Dantuma to stay in this fight, it's going to take something huge to happen between those top 2. Harley, Jason, I'm getting a huge laugh out of these. Harley Barletta currently in 4th. But Mark Nelson is closing in on him, and Ray Hillhouse still right there. Harley had started to pull a little bit of a gap on those guys, but they've run him back down. This may come down to a tire management and who's fastest on the old tires tonight. And it looks like AJ may have just turned it up a little bit. That gap starting to shrink. Eric Stoy back in 7th place. And what do you say we ride around with him for a couple of laps? Down into turn 1. Down to the very bottom, waiting, gets back on the throttle. Have to ease it onto the throttle out of the turns, or else the back end will snap loose on you. Down into turn 3, runs in a little hot, drifts up and gets back on the throttle, back down toward the start-finish line. And you'll note there is an elevation change from the front stretch to the back stretch, is downhill as well as banked. So down 1 and 2, you're going downhill. Turns 3 and 4, you're going uphill. It's a very slight amount, but it is enough that it does help unsettle the cars off the turns. Jeff Hinkle's 3/4 of a second lead is now starting to shrink as AJ Godsey closes in. Mark Dantuma back in 3rd, now 2 seconds behind. Harley has almost caught back up to him and brings Mark Nelson and Ray Hillhouse with him. Worth noting, Mark Dantuma had a great run this morning in the GT3 NSS series. Ended up with a couple of top 5 finishes. Mark Nelson in 5th, trying to stay up there as close as he can to the leaders. Remember, he is tied with Jeff Hinkle for 2nd in the points. Mark Dantuma doing exactly what he needs to do right now to try and stay in the playoffs, but with Harley right there, he might be in trouble. Meanwhile, Jeff Hinkle now sees a whole lot of that 5 car in the mirror. Off turn 4, AJ pulls up just a little bit closer. However, the question does remain, which one of these drivers, we know Jeff Hinkle is the king of tire saving, but can he outsave AJ on a short track? And it may not be possible as they come down toward turn 1. AJ drops down to the bottom. Off turn 2, side by side, drag race down the backstretch. And AJ Godsey takes the lead. Jeff Hinkle now to 2nd, and Mark Nelson has flown by up into 3rd. And let's see how Mark just picked up 2 positions. He was in 5th. Coming out of turn 4. Oh, Harley gets the wall hard. Mark Nelson comes by, now looks and sets his sights in on Dantuma. Meanwhile, Mike Smith up on the high side is going to go a lap down. Down into turn 3, Nelson now to Mark. Nelson now to Dantuma. And Mark Nelson sets it up into 1 and 2. Mark clears, and now he is up to third place on track. Hey, good evening, Brock. How's it going? The AJ Godsey leads at Richmond. Jeff Hinkle in second. Looks like we might have a battle brewing toward the back as Brandon Springer, driving one-handed, tries to get by Kevin Reed. Out of turn 2. Looks like Kevin's going to be able to hold him off, at least for the moment. Harley Barletta, after his incident out of turn 4, has drifted back to 5th. Does not look like he sustained much damage. Just a little scratch. Doesn't appear to be affecting the handling. Mark Dantuma, after being passed, has drifted all the way back into 6th. Brandon Springer finally might be able to clear Kevin Reed. He does. Springer now to 10th. Richie West has made his way up to 9th, trying to run down Ian Ogden. And AJ Godsey is not far from being in lap traffic. Larry cheering on Jeff Hinkle here tonight, and it's still fairly early in a run for a short track. I would not be surprised to see Hinkle come back after AJ's tires wear a little more. And thank you guys so much for the stars tonight. It is greatly appreciated. Mark Nelson now up to 3rd, sets his sights on Hinkle, and he is gaining on him 1.6 seconds behind. Ray Hillhouse has now made his way up into 4th place. We saw him coming by Mark Dantuma a few moments ago. He started in 8th, very quickly picked up 2 spots, and then has followed Mark Nelson up a couple of more. Mark Dantuma in 6th. Eric Stoy back in 7th is about to have his hands full. Ian Ogden has caught him. Richie West holding on to 9th. Brandon Springer in 10th. And AJ Godsey now coming around to lap Kevin Reed. Kevin currently in 11th place. Kevin giving him room off of turn 4 rather, and AJ clears, puts Kevin Reed a lap down. Jeff Hinkle now in 2nd, has fallen back 0.8 of a second. Mark Nelson has reeled him into 0.75 of a second. AJ Godsey now starting to open that lead up even more. Mark Nelson trying to clear Kevin Reed. He's almost there. Almost caught up to Jeff Hinkle as he comes off of turn 4. Ray Hillhouse back in 4th. Harley Barletta in 5th. Mark Dantuma currently runs in 6th, Ian Ogden 7th, Eric Stoy in 8th, Richie West now in 9th, and Brandon Springer in 10th. As of right now, Greg McDaniel, by not being here tonight, is eliminated from the playoffs. And as of right now, Richie West and Mark Dantuma would be eliminated. Leaving the final 4 going into Vegas to be AJ Godsey, Mark Nelson, Jeff Hinkle, and Harley Barletta. And coming into tonight, just 2 points separated the entire field. Brandon Springer starting to blink. AJ to the lead, Nelson in 2nd, battling with Hinkle. Hinkle has a little bobble off turn 4, but gets on it. Down into turn 1, they are side by side. Nelson able to drive a little deeper into the turn, and he's going to take 2nd place. Now 2.5 seconds behind AJ Godsey. Can he run him down? AJ clearing lap traffic as battling goes on back behind. The gap between 1st and 2nd now holding right around 2.5 seconds. The drivers doing their best, the lap cars doing their best to stay out of the way as these playoff drivers continue to battle. Hinkle now back in 3rd. It's unusual to see Jeff fading on a long green flag run. And look at this, Ray Hillhouse now looking to the bottom. Oh, Ray has to get out of it off turn 4, almost drifted up into Hinkle's left rear quarter panel. Now Hillhouse has the run coming off turn 2, looking to the bottom. Hinkle has the momentum off the high side and holds that position. And Ray Hillhouse all over him. Lap traffic ahead may come into play. AJ Godsey, meanwhile, out front, has increased his lead. Nelson was gaining on him, but that has come to a halt as now AJ's lead is 2.6 seconds. Don't forget, if you've missed any of these races this season or any of our other broadcasts, you can find them all on our YouTube channel. Just look up How to Suck at iRacing on YouTube. Oh, AJ a little loose off turn 2 that time. And Mark Nelson obviously wasn't. He gained 0.2 of a second. Ray Hillhouse in 3rd is gaining on Nelson. He's 1.3 seconds back and closing. Jeff Hinkle staying in his tire tracks. Mark Nelson comes around to Richie West as he continues to try and run AJ down. Harley Barletta back in 5th. Dantuma in 6th. Ian Ogden back in 7th. Eric Stoy in 8th. Richie West in 9th. Brandon Springer in 10th, but for how long he's starting to blink. Kevin Reed in 11th and Mike Smith in 12th. Approaching the halfway point. Ray Hillhouse makes a move under Hinkle. Easily sends it into 3rd. And now only 1.3 seconds behind Mark Nelson. Looked like Hinkle was trying to fight back into the top three, just didn't have it right at the moment. Barletta not far behind in fifth. Ian Ogden back in sixth. Mark Dantuma in seventh has fallen quite a bit since the drop of the green. Mark Nelson in second. Now the gap back under 2.5 seconds as he tries to reel AJ in. Harley Barletta the first to make his green flag stop. A little early, I think. I would have thought these guys would try and split the race evenly. I would expect most of this field to be in on lap 65. Between 65 and 70. And pit road entry here. And pit road exit can get a bit sketchy. Harley Barletta left side's up. Let's hop in the cockpit and let you see what it's like coming off pit road at Richmond. He's got to be careful not to spin the tires there as he gets up to speed and just right up onto the track. There is no runoff area. Fortunately, nobody around. Harley Barletta, the first driver back on fresh tires. AJ maintaining about a 2.5 to 2.6 second lead over Nelson. Hillhouse back in third, running Mark Nelson down. Jeff Hinkle back in fourth, and now Ian Ogden up into fifth has come by Eric Stoy. Looks like they had a little bit of a battle. Let's see what happened here. Ian comes by Mark Dantuma very quickly. Eric Stoy is going to come by. But Eric Stoy unable to get up to Ian at the moment. Mark Dantuma is currently the last car on the lead lap. AJ Gotzi continuing to lead here and maintain that gap. Mark Nelson in second. Ray Hillhouse in third. Just a couple of laps away from... Oh, holy cow. Hillhouse loose off turn 4. Holds on to her. Just a couple more laps away from seeing the entire field go in for their green flag stops. Kevin Reed has been in for his, as well as Harley Barletta. AJ coming by Mike Smith. Keeping a close eye on the leaders. I would expect AJ and Jeff to probably try and stretch the fuel. Oh no, I'm staying corrected. Hinkle is on pit road. Jeff Hinkle comes to pit road for his green flag stop. AJ Gotzi continues to stay out, but now that lead lap cars and some of the faster lead lap cars are hitting pit road, I would expect everybody in soon. Mark Nelson in second, Ray Hillhouse in third. Ian Ogden gives up his spot. He's on pit road. Oh, it looked like AJ was thinking about it. Is he? Yes, AJ on pit road. Mark Nelson is on pit road. Ray Hillhouse staying out. Eric Stoy is staying out. Mark Dantuma misses pit road. Let's see what happened to Dantuma that may have been the end of his playoff hopes. Down through 3 and 4, just started slowing down too late and missed the pit road entrance. Had to back up. Ray Hillhouse and Eric, caution. And it may have very well been for Mark Dantuma's incident. Let's take a look. Brandon Springer was entering pit road around the time the caution came out. Oh, yep, it definitely was Mark Nelson's incident on pit road. And Ray Hillhouse and Eric Stoy may have just snookered the field. Ray is in his pit box. Let's see if we can get a word. Hey, Ray, it's Doug. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, you know, they say sometimes you'd rather be lucky than good, and I think that played out for you just now.
Is that what's going on right now? I'm a little confused.
Yeah, there was an incident. You and Eric were the only two that did not come to pit road under green.
Hey, that worked out. I totally planned that and everything.
Well, I know, man, you've been moving up through the field. Now you're going to be up really close to the front, if not in the lead. How are you feeling about your chances here?
I feel really good on the long run. I was able to hang with, I was able to pass Jeff, which is crazy. But I feel good. Definitely going to get a top 5 here, I feel.
Well, man, good luck. You have had an awesome race so far. Got a little luck on your side this time, and things are definitely going well for you.
Thanks, man. We'll see how it plays out.
So Ray Hillhouse is currently scored as the leader. Richie West is on pit road. He was up into 3rd place. We'll have to see how everything shakes out here. And Ray Hillhouse does look like he's going to hold on to the lead. Eric Stoy in 2nd. Richie West is being scored in 3rd. We'll wait for him to come back around. Moves AJ Gotze all the way back into 4th at the moment. And he is at the tail end of the lead lap. But does look like he is going to be waved around the pace car. AJ stopped under green, so a couple laps older tires than what Ray and Eric have right now as well. Looks like we are going to get the 1 to green here. Everybody getting waved past the pace car. So Ray Hillhouse, Eric Stoy on the front row. Richie West now up on the 2nd row with AJ. Mark Nelson, Jeff Hinkle back to the 3rd row. Ian Ogden and Harley Barletta on the 4th. Kevin Reed and Mike Smith rounding out the top 10. Brandon Springer in 11th. Mark Dantuma out of the race, it appears. Oh, Mark was in the Ford again tonight. I see the problem here. Here they come out of turn 4. Ray Hillhouse in control. He fires green back in the air. 7 cars on the lead lap currently. And some lap cars mixed in as AJ tries to get back to the lead. This could be the opportunity Richie West needed. Harley Barletta all the way back in 8th. With Richie running up in 3rd place on fresh tires, anything could happen here now. But here comes AJ now into 3rd. Meanwhile, Ray Hillhouse and Eric Stoy, first and second, they've got a lap car between them. Harley Barletta trying to get himself back to the lead lap. Ray Hillhouse opening up almost a 1 second lead on Eric Stoy. Harley between them is definitely helping. AJ now up into third. Richie West in fourth, Mark Nelson in fifth. And this could be a huge shakeup in the playoffs points here. Ray Hillhouse continuing to open up that lead over Eric Stoy, 1.1 seconds. AJ Gonsey back in third, trying to run down his teammate Eric Stoy. Richie West now back in fourth, now Mark Nelson in fifth. Jeff Hinkle in sixth, Ian Ogden in seventh, Harley Barletta in eighth. Harley Barletta challenging Hillhouse here, trying to get his lap back. Laps to go, and Hillhouse leading for the first time tonight due to some great luck and pit strategy. Eric Stoy in second place, his teammate not far behind. I would not imagine AJ's going to get much fight there. Mark Nelson back on the attack. Coming under Richie West, now back up into fourth. He's going to bring Jeff Hinkle with him. So, quick update, Mark Dantuma had a lightning strike near his house. His monitors went out, and that's how he missed pit road. Hopefully we'll see Mark back in 2 weeks at the season finale. He won't be in the final four of the playoffs, but a good chance to win at Vegas. And you got to give a hand to Brandon Springer out here tonight, currently running in 10th place. With 2 broken fingers, he's only able to drive with one hand. Harley Barletta now trying to get under. It looks like he's going to pull it off. He's got it underneath Ray Hillhouse. He's going back to the lead lap. Ray stops fighting, lets Harley back by, but that gives Eric Stoy some room to gain ground. Oh, a little bobble off turn 2 for Eric. Eric now 7/10 of a second behind in second place. Back in third, AJ about 9/10 of a second back. Mark Nelson now up into fourth, 2 1/4 seconds back. But he is gaining on AJ. Jeff Hinkle also back there, currently running in 5th. Richie West in 6th. So as of right now, Mark Dantuma and Greg McDaniel both officially eliminated. This is going to come down to Richie West and Harley Barletta, who will be the final cut. They are 3 points apart. Richie just needs to finish 3 or 4 spots ahead of Harley to stay in the playoffs. And as of right now, he is 2 spots ahead. Ray Hillhouse continues to lead with Harley right in front of him. Richie felt he was going to be out and be eliminated tonight. He didn't have a fast car. He would need a miracle, but there are still some miracles out on the table for him. And don't forget, because I know it is glitching a little bit, you can always watch the replay of the race on YouTube. It'll be posted later tonight. Our apologies, we have been working on it for 2 weeks. We thought we had it fixed a couple of nights ago. Obviously, still some more work to do. Raymond Hillhouse out front has now pulled 1.5 seconds ahead of Eric Stoy. Eric has AJ closing in on the back bumper. Eric no longer in the playoffs. He was eliminated last time. So he is out here just racing for the win. And it makes you wonder at just how hard he is going to fight AJ on this one. Ray Hillhouse, though, looking like he may try and come back around Harley Barletta. Harley would still be in the lucky dog position, but with only 1 caution tonight. If Harley gets past again and goes a lap down again, he may not get another opportunity to stay on the lead lap. Ray Hillhouse to the high side. Harley goes a lap down again. Eric Stoy now in second, 1.5 seconds back, and AJ in third. Hillhouse, this is exactly what he wanted to see. He's got a buffer between him and AJ. Mark Nelson up into 4th place. He was gaining on AJ and Eric. That is leveled out at 2.25 seconds. Jeff Hinkle back in 5th. Richie West in 6th, Ian Ogden in 7th, and Harley Barletta back in 8th. Kevin Reed back in 9th, has struggled all night long. A bit of a surprise to see Kevin struggling on a short track. Of course, Brandon Springer out there in 10th place, only able to use 1 hand. Mike Smith currently in 11th in his triumphant return. We will see Mike in the next season. Good evening, Russellworth. How's it going, bud? Eric Stoy is closing in on the lap car of Harley Barletta, but you know Harley is not going to make it easy for either Eric or AJ. If Eric opens the door, AJ will take the opportunity. Harley has got to fight for all he has got here. Harley trying to move up to the top, use the momentum on the high side. Oh, Harley gets the wall off turn 2. Eric Stoy is now underneath and clear. AJ's going to try and follow him through. AJ's got the nose in off of turn 4. Harley currently scored an 8th, 1 lap down. Just trying to fight to stay in contention in the playoffs. Hey, good evening, Jason. How's it going, man? Ray Hillhouse comes by Mike Smith. His lead now 1.4 seconds. Now that Eric Stoy and AJ have cleared the lap car of Harley Barletta, they are starting to reel him in and reel him in quickly. This might come down to who negotiates this lap traffic better. Ray Hillhouse out front has led since since about lap 60. But Eric Stoy is closing in. Although Ray Hillhouse is in a Ford, so you have to question whether or not the car will make it the final 25 laps or so. That might be why he's losing time to Eric here. Might be down a cylinder or two. Eric Stoy in second. AJ Gotze in third. Mark Nelson in fourth is starting to reel these guys in as well. That gap down to 1.9, but he needs a lot more laps to get up here into the fight. Jeff Hinkle surprisingly back in fifth. Ian Ogden in sixth, up 4 spots. Richie West up 4 spots into seventh. Harley Barletta back in eighth as of right now. Richie West would be the third driver eliminated at the end of the night. And hopefully Topher will be able to get us the official standings while we're doing post-race interviews. But as of right now, we know Greg McDaniel and Mark D'Antuma will both be eliminated tonight. Richie West or Harley Barletta. Those two are 3 points apart, and as of right now, it'll be Richie West that is eliminated. Eric Stoy now 3/4 of a second behind Hillhouse. AJ Gotze back in third. Mark Nelson in fourth. Had started closing in, had gotten down under 2 seconds to AJ. Is now 2 1/4 seconds behind again. Raymond Hillhouse's lead is shrinking quickly. Next time by, Hillhouse will have 20 laps to go. Can he hold off the teammates of Eric Stoy and AJ Gotze? $20 laps to go at Richmond. One of the cleanest Richmond races I've ever seen. Only one caution, and that was due to just a weird situation with Mark D'Antuma missing pit road. Eric Stoy in second, still about 3/4 of a second back. He cut the gap in half as they came through lap traffic, but has not been able to run Hillhouse down. AJ back in third. is staying just about 1 second behind his teammate. Mark Nelson in fourth, about 2.25 seconds back. Hinkle in fifth, about 3 seconds behind him. Ian Ogden now up into sixth. And Richie West in seventh, the field having spread out all over the track. Hillhouse appears to get the better run off the turns and is able to maintain that gap. And he's in a Scooby is on a Ford too, Russell. I know that'll make you happy. Eric Stoy in second, AJ in third. No change in those gaps. Actually, Hillhouse has pulled a little bit more of a gap on Eric Stoy now, almost a full second. And Russell, buddy, I've been thinking about you. AJ Godsey back in third place, has not been able to close up any of this gap. Mark Nelson back in fourth, and Jeff Hinkle back in fifth. Hinkle gaining on Mark Nelson at the moment, but too much time and too few laps unless something changes. Hillhouse's lead. Eric Stoy has found another gear, as Eric Stoy is now back to Hillhouse's back bumper, and we might see a battle for the lead in the final 10 laps. If they start battling heavily, AJ Godsey will be able to close in on them as well. I agree, Jason. The math just does not work. It's going to be 10 to go at the line. Hillhouse still holding off Eric Stoy. Eric has gotten up to 0.4 of a second behind him, but has not been able to get up or make a move. We could see a last lap bump and run here. AJ back in third, needs these two in front of him to start battling. He's now 2 seconds behind. Mark Nelson is gaining on AJ, now 1.1 seconds back. Oh! Eric was wicked loose off of turn 4, manages to hold on to it. These guys have done a great job here tonight. When the Cup cars come here, when the trucks come here, both cars with more downforce than these Xfinity cars. And they still struggle getting off the turn, sliding around, but man, these Xfinity cars, almost as much power as the Cup car, way less downforce, and these guys, we've seen very few drivers slide down or have any major issues. Hillhouse has opened the gap now to half a second again. Yes, it is, Russell. Every Sunday night at 7:30 Eastern. except next week for Labor Day. They will be off, so we won't have a broadcast next Sunday. Five laps to go for Ray Hillhouse. One of the newest members of BRR coming out here and showing the veterans how to get it done. Eric Stoy in second, trying everything he can to get here. Ray Hillhouse does have lap cars ahead. Kevin Reed about a half a straightaway ahead. Could the 64 Finelli Ironworks car come into play in this battle for the win? 3 laps to go. Kevin trying to stay up on the high side and stay out of this fight. Down to the bottom, Hillhouse goes through 3 and 4. He's going to come down. Popsicle sticks in the air. 2 laps to go. Eric Stoy in second has been unable to gain any more ground and is in fact losing a little bit of ground to the leader. And Mark Nelson has caught AJ Godsey. He's got 1 lap left to get it done. Hillhouse comes across, gets the white flag. He's got 0.6 of a second on Eric. Mark Nelson just 1/4 of a second behind AJ. Off of turn 2, down the back straightaway. Ray Hillhouse comes out of 4. He wins. Eric Stoy comes home second. Who's it going to be at the line? It is AJ for third. Mark Nelson comes home 4th. Jeff Hinkle in 5th. Ian Ogden comes home 6th. Harley Barletta in 7th. Richie West in 8th. Brandon Springer 9th. And Kevin Reed 10th. And it does look like Richie West is going to be the 3rd driver eliminated tonight. Let's see if we can talk to our top 3. Hey, AJ, it's Doug. You got me?
I got you, Doug.
I find it very strange that I'll be talking to you in Victory Lane on a short track.
Yeah, that caution kind of bit me. I was on pit road when it came out, so had to restart back in the pack for the first time, and between all the dirty air and trying to make up all that time, I abused my tires.
Well, man, still another great finish. You'll maintain the points lead, I do believe, here tonight, and another great night for you headed toward your title.
Yeah, done what we need to do to make it to the championship for next weekend, so that's what matters.
Well, you definitely made it, buddy. Congratulations.
Thanks, Doug.
All right, Eric Stoy comes home in second. Eric, I have to ask, how many more laps did you need? Could you have gotten to him?
Probably 1,002. I could not find a line. I was just kind of going with the flow, but it was fun though.
You definitely had a great run here tonight and a great comeback after that or being out when the caution came out put you in perfect position.
Yeah, I think that was just going to be my strategy. I was trying to stay out as long as I can. I knew I didn't have like the fastest car out there, but hoping for a caution, and it happened, and can't complain.
Well, man, a great finish. You come home in second. Congratulations, man.
Hey, thanks, Doug.
And now to talk to our winner, Ray. After you got that lead, man, you never looked back.
Oh yeah, man. Eric was coming though. I wasn't getting through lap traffic as well as I wanted to. It's making me nervous.
It did get a little bit closer. He got down to about 3/4 of a second, and but he couldn't gain any more when lap traffic wasn't around. He made all of his gains coming through lap traffic. Once you had clean air, man, you pulled away again.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I got lucky with that caution to be able to start on the lead there and drive away from a little bit and get that gap.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
You're right, man. No doubt about it.
Congratulations. I believe that's your second win, is it not?
think it's my first win in this series. I won the truck series a couple times.
I got you. Well, congratulations, your first Xfinity win, and a great run here tonight, buddy.
Thanks, man.
Ray Hillhouse getting his first Xfinity win in BRR. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow night, 7:30 Eastern. Jones BS Racing is back with the Legends and the Tour Mods. Another great night of racing. Y'all have a great night.